Welcome back to the finish line in association with Betopin.com. I'm back.
You're back.
Do you miss me?
We're both back. Dream Team's back.
He looked like a lost puppy without me.
That's not what producer Kev just called us a minute ago. Right. You're back. Good holiday?
2 weeks too short.
Yeah.
I came back for you though.
Oh, thanks.
You look lost without me.
Yeah, you need to rescue me.
You need to rescue
I'm
you.
no good at this producing crap. No good at all.
Right. So anyway, we're going to talk about what happened the weekend at Epsom, and we have a little surprise of what Tom's going to say about a certain trainer. Right, Tom?
No comment.
That's not what you said off. It's not what he said off camera.
No comment.
Give you a hint.
Don't want any lawsuits.
His name starts with Emmett and ends with Mullins. Right, start with the Derby.
Cracking race. As we were saying just before, they're either all very good or they're average. I haven't really made my mind up. I thought the winner did very well to win where he came from. He got checked a couple of times. He was out the back and he quickened up nicely now. He did very well to win. I thought he was probably the best horse in the race on the day. He had to get switched twice. I mean,
he got checked a few times, didn't he?
To do that in a derby and still win, you've got to be pretty good. Delighted for Shamey. He's ridden a few horses for a friend of mine, and anytime you meet him, he's a lovely guy, and they're 0 to 65 handicappers, and he gives all of them a ride. Very knowledgeable, always gives you a good rundown of what happened. Really good for him to get a derby on the board. I thought though, I tipped Sir Dragonay and Mad Moon for us.
Yeah.
I tell you, a furlong out, I thought I was going to have the 1-2.
So did I was watching it over there.
I was delighted with myself. I was there going, I'm going to have the 1-2 here.
I didn't even see him win till he crossed the line. I didn't take any notice of him whatsoever.
Yeah.
I seen this thing in pink coming down the road.
Yeah, I didn't either. I was watching the front two from a long way out. I was watching Sir Dragonay for most of the race. Yeah, look, it's one of those, I think maybe they just both got there too soon. I think they were going so well and they got into a fight a long, long way out. Yeah. Mad Moon, Chris Hayes was saying he clipped heels. I didn't see it first time. If you watch it back, he actually did. He clips heels about half a mile out. Yeah. It kind of lights him up. And he just bought him there then. Quickened up very well, stayed very well. Really good for Kevin Prendergast, second in the Derby. I said to you, when I was over in Newmarket, I met a couple of guys connected to the stable, and they really like that horse massively, and he's proved them right. He stayed on well in the Guineas and he stayed on well there. I think Irish Derby, all roads are going to lead to it for him, aren't they? So,
yeah, they're talking about the Irish Champion Stakes as well. Right,
yeah, that could be up his street. Be interested to see how he gets on.
I reckon he could be the best.
Do you think? I think Sir Dragon is the best of them.
Yeah, saying that, to do that after your third run.
I just think after 3 runs, travelled very well. He's gone from running on soft ground to running on good to firm ground. Quickened up very well. Kept going very well. Only got ran out of it in the last half of furlong. And I just think the two of them, they went at it from a long way out.
One that caught my eye now, for a step up and trip now, would be Broome.
Yeah.
He made a move coming down the hill now. That caught my eye. He went very fast, very quickly, but he stayed at it a long way. I think a step up and trip now will be nice for him.
I think he's got St. Ledger written all over.
Yeah.
He'd be the one for St. Ledger for me. Japan took a nice step forward from his run.
He did.
Last day as
he
well.
left the last one well behind him.
He had to come all the way around the outside as well. So that was a lovely run. I just think, they're all nice horses, and you could see all the right ones were there. I think,
It's either going to be an average bunch or they are all very, very, very good.
No, I think they're all pretty good. I am undecided at the minute, but it'd be interesting to see what they do. But yeah, Japan took a nice step forward. Anthony Van Dyke, he was the talking horse as a 2-year-old. I mean, he bolted up in Killarney by 8 lengths, and he was fancied for all the classics then. And I think his form just tailed off. And he might just be a horse that maybe doesn't need too much racing. Yeah. I think if you look at his form at the start of his career as a 2-year-old, it was very good, and it just tailed off towards the back end. Yeah. I think he's maybe one to look after if they pick and choose their races with him, which They probably will.
Like, I'll be honest, I was talking to you before, and I gave this fella 0 chance.
Yeah, no, I didn't. Just the way his form tailed off last year, I didn't fancy him either. But
he's proved us wrong.
He has, in fairness, yeah.
I'd like to see him back it up again now.
So would I. I just think if you look after him, if you give him a bit of time now between his race, and maybe only give him another 2 runs this year, he probably will back it up. So Dragonite though is what is the exciting one for me. To do that on the 3rd run of his life. I mean, he's finished 5th, but he wasn't beaten very far.
You could throw a blanket over him.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be interested to see where they go with him next.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to split them up now, you'd imagine. So it will be interesting to see where they all go. But
I'd say to try keep him apart now at this stage after that.
Yeah, I think Broom's the obvious St. Ledger horse.
Japan will probably step up as well.
Japan will probably step up as well. I think Dragonite could actually come back down a trip.
He's the speed.
After starting his life off over 1 mile 4 and a 1 mile 4 maiden, they think he's slow. He actually travelled well into that, so I wouldn't be too worried about him if he went to Royal Ascot and came back down to mile 2 or something like that.
You wouldn't put it past him anyway.
Just the 2 that didn't run their races, Bangkok and Telecaster. I was against Bangkok, but I just don't think he ran his race. It was too bad to be true. And Telecaster got a bit warm.
His race was run before he got down to the start.
His race was run, yeah. It didn't really handle the track either. Be better to see him back on a flatter track, I think, and see where he goes. Just put a line for that. No?
Oaks?
The Oaks, yeah. We'll just flick over. The winner's impressive.
Broke me heart.
I thought we tipped the winner of the Oaks for a good start. Pink Dogwood went clear, traded at 1.08 or something.
Where did this thing come out of? Make it worse. Frankie was on it.
Frankie, yeah. Quickened up and stayed on well. Good performance by our team.
Yeah, it was good.
Not a great performance by the owners afterwards, but there we go.
Do you see that? No.
So the lad leading in has got it. The one owner comes up and stands on his side, the near side, to lead it in. Yeah. And the two women connected with the horse come up and stand the other side. So the head lad pulls him out of the way. Really? So he's like, oh, okay. So then they lead the horse in. There's a really good clip then of John Gosden calls him over. It's hilarious because one of the women thinks he's calling her and she leans in. And he's like, no, I'm not talking
to you. No, not you. You go away.
But he puts his arm around the lad and walks in with the lad. So it was good. The time and effort. I mean, I know they pay the bills, but you pack your horse in the Windsor enclosure. You know, the time and effort those lads put into.
They'd practically sleep with them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think you should always walk. Personal opinion.
Leave the fella that looks after him.
But again, it's as somebody said, the BHA, you're the people in charge of the horse are meant to look after the horse. Yeah. So if you want to get picky, you can get picky that way.
You're an owner. Just stay in the Windsor.
If the lad walks the horse in on the near side, which is the side you stand to lead horses, if he walks that horse in that side, he's in control of the horse, or she's in control of the horse, and the owner just walks the other side and holds the reins the other side and leaves it in there.
What happens? There is no headland and the horse goes mental.
Yeah, I don't see any problem with that. So. But there we go.
It's flat racing for you.
I thought there was a really good tweet from Harry Drew, David Pipe's owner. He said, how about this for a way to lead your horse? And he's leading the horse in, and he's got his arm around the stable lass, giving her a hug, leading the horse in. I thought that was quite good. Just another horse that ran well was Fleeting. Didn't get a very clear run, was held up. Stayed on very well, just couldn't get to the 2 leaders. Manuela de Vega was a bit short of room as well, got bumped around. It was a very rough race. Medaya just got no run, twice got no run. Just forget about that race for her really, and move on. That was the Oaks. Again, I still get as excited about the fillies unless we've got a star like an Abel or Ouija board or someone like that.
Something spectacular.
Yeah.
As of now, they don't look spectacular.
No, I think they're much of a muchness. I think Pink Dogwood, I just thought Pink Dogwood had it won.
I think another day, Pink Dogwood beat them.
Yeah, 100%.
Because they know what to go at now. they know who to look for, who to follow.
Yeah. I mean, Anand Purr has improved no end from being 9th first time out there, winning the maiden on the All Weather, to winning the Lingfield Derby trial, Oaks trial. I should give a shout out to Lingfield actually. They've got the Derby trial and the Oaks trial, and they've got both the winners.
On Lingfield, fair play to you. Still a shit trial.
I think they want their Group 3 status back now. We should probably get it. Really.
Oh, is it listed?
It's listed down. Listed. Yeah. So yeah, I think it should probably be a group race.
It's a good track for the Derby. Derby trial. It's a very good record. Well, I say very good record. It's a good record for getting horses placed at least.
The track is the right way around for it. They've got the bend, they've got the bit of a hill going down. So if the trainers are willing to go there, then fair play. You're getting their winners.
Exactly. It's an easy starting point, really, isn't it?
Can be.
Right, go on. Tramore.
Yeah, so we tipped a couple of horses.
Hold on now. Take the wee out of this now. There's no wee involved in this.
I tipped a couple of horses for Friday in Tramore. One was a non-runner. He ran at Hexham the next day. He was started the horse who did run Star Oscar. Dropped out the back. Doesn't really travel that lad.
He's a mule. Let's be honest.
I don't know if he's a mule.
Oh, stop.
I don't know if he's a mule.
He did everything but run on.
He did though. He didn't get much room all the way around. There was fences. He was jumping into the back of the horse. He was getting barged left and right and centre. He just didn't get a good run round. The leader was on the front end all the way. He stayed on well to be second. He went off 11-2. I thought that was a very good price. He was second. We won't knock. I won't be too hard on myself for that. Lamb's Lane.
Now, this is the part now. Say what you said to me, Tom.
Lamb's Lane ran at Hexham on the Saturday.
Go on. Get there.
And there was 2 Emmett Mullins horses in the race.
Yeah, here we go. Say it.
One went from 3-1.
No, 5s.
No, one went from 3-1 to as big as 9-1.
Oh yeah, sorry,
on the exchanges. And the other horse went from 5s into as short as 8-13. The horse who went out to 9-1 didn't travel a yard and got pulled up halfway, and the horse that was favourite fell, so we'll never know. However, I think Lamb's Lane is better than that. Let's put it that way.
That's not what you said.
He's got to be better than that.
Come on.
I don't want any court cases.
It's not going to be court cases.
No, I don't know. I mean, it's always tough when you're looking at horses like that could be punt horses. They don't get punted. The stablemate gets punted, and then they don't run much of a race. But
right, the interview was before at the races or Sky Sports Racing went up them and ones before the race. Which of your two do you think is going to run the best? One is shorter than the other. Oh, which one is shorter? As if he didn't know.
He might not have known.
Oh, stop now. Stevie Wonder could see that he's had to be punted off the boards.
He might not have known. I think the bookmakers are away from where he was stood at Epsom. But
I'm blind and I could see the bloody board from Montenegro.
Look, I don't know. You take a chance. You take a chance with those type of horses, and sometimes they don't run as well as you think they can and they used to. But
this is not the first time he's done that.
No, but sure, that's the game, isn't it? You have gamble horses, and sometimes.
Yeah, fair enough having horses.
Sometimes they run well and sometimes they don't run well.
Don't put 2 in and then use the other one to back the other one.
Sure, got them a better price about the other one, isn't it? So
I'm trying to be diplomatic here. I do the exact same thing, but anyway.
Look, I wouldn't knock him for it. It's just frustrating when you're on the wrong one, really. But there we go. I mean, he ran no race. He didn't travel at all, and he pulled up halfway. His form for Philip last year was a lot better than that.
So Phil probably better.
Well, he trained him better anyway, didn't he? He's gotten better around.
Oh, shots fired.
He'd have gotten better. He'd have got him to run better.
I'm trying to make you say what you said to me.
I'm not saying it. But yeah, look, it's just one of those things. You just have to get on with it.
Yeah.
So anyway, disappointing weekend on the punting front. It was freezing up in Tramore. I just want to give a shout out to a couple of lads I know. Actually, they bought a horse. They had a horse last year who sadly had a heart attack, I think, at Wexford and died. He'd given them a lot of fun. So they replaced him the back end of last year with a horse called Calenzo. And Calenzo, have you seen Calenzo?
Is that the fellas that went absolutely mental?
Yeah, I know some of them, and I met them in the pub the day after on a Saturday, and they were still going mental.
All right,
So yeah, Calenzo has got well handicapped, and then has won 3 on the bounce now, won off 110, probably go up £7, I'd say, go up to about 117. Looks a really nice horse. I think he only cost him 11 grand. So
he's only 4, isn't he?
He's only 4. Yeah. He could be one to follow. Back at Tramore hopefully in August for the lads. It's their big festival. So
Cash in on the flat rate.
Local horse. Yeah, he's rated 60 on the flat. So
chucked in.
Yeah. Best of luck, lads, and fair play to you. He's done a good job getting that.
So that's a nice story now to finish off with.
Yeah, I think
well played.
They've won plenty of money.
Yeah, you did
There's
well.
a song. If go on to the Irish Racing's Twitter, they were singing a song in the parade ring, and they were singing it in the pub on Saturday night, and it's just stuck in my head now.
What?
I'm not singing.
No, you have to go in this far now. Come on, it's a microphone in front of you.
No, it's to the whole. I actually can't remember the words. It's got out of my head.
It's 2 things you have to dodge now
something
today.
in the air tonight. Calenzo, yeah. To that
ABBA.
Fernando song. Yeah, that's it.
Go on.
I'm not singing at all, but it's on Irish Racing's Twitter page. The lads singing in the parade ring. Fair play to you getting involved in the horse, and they've had some really good sport out of him. Just another one.
Jesus Christ, you're frightened shit out of me there. You turned so quick.
I got a horse to follow.
Oh God, it's not a handicapper, is it?
He's a handicapper.
Oh,
He's rated 63 on the.
Kev, this is where you put in the bleed thing for.
This will win, lad. I'm telling you.
All right, come on.
Right.
What price is it?
No, it was entered on Saturday.
Right.
It was entered on Saturday. It was reserved at the stole. It was third reserve, so it didn't get in, didn't run. However, it was 12 to 1. It was 12 to 1 for that race in the morning. So I think we'll get a price about this lad next day. A horse called Shamad of the Flatties. Ran at the Curragh on the 24th of May. Was held up out the back. Ran in the same race as a good old friend of ours called Edification. And I was watching Edification
He
that
came
day.
third, didn't he, or something?
He got no run. He came third on Friday as well there. Backed him, yeah.
Solid.
Yeah, solid place chances all week. But Shamad was kind of following him through and didn't get much of a run at all. Was way out the back, way out the back, and stayed on quite nicely. He was 8th of 18 that day. That was a 0 to 85. He's rated 63. He can run in a lower grade than that. All I'd be concerned about is if it's over a mile, he needs a strongly run race. But keep an eye out on him. Shamad is his name.
Tom's wonderful. We had to do a little corner piece now.
I think we're going to do a little. We're going to have a production meeting.
Yeah, we'll have a meeting about this after.
And we'll do it. We're going to put a few different sections into the show, and I don't know what we're
see how it goes.
But yeah, Shamad is my horse to follow for this week anyway. Hopefully he'll be out soon. He hasn't got any entries this week either, but he'll be out soon, and he should be a bit of a price, and wouldn't mind getting stuck into him.
No, don't blame me if he loses.
Yeah, just blame me, as usual.